Why, hello, hello. Chamberlain Jonas here of the Wayward Inquisition. Once again here on a wonderful Thursday evening. I'm doing my darndest to stay awake. I'm about 30% boneless wings right now. Had dinner at Applebee's, and they had a all-you-can-eat boneless wings and riblets, and I did. Come on, YouTube. I want to make sure that I can be heard. Here we go. Make sure that I can be heard. Yeah, there's me. All right. But yes, we are the Wayward Inquisition, a Dungeons & Dragons podcast. We are here on YouTube as well as Spotify and Apple Podcast. We have all sorts of VODs for you to watch. We got sci-fi, we got Western, fantasy, and yeah, that pretty much covers it. So be sure to check them out. We also have a Redbubble, where you can get our merch. It's freaking awesome. We got a lot of our characters up on there. The art of them. You can get stickers, t-shirts, backpacks, shower curtains. It's a pretty awesome site. I never knew it existed until we started doing this. See? Okay, yeah, got the chat here. Groovy. Yeah, so tonight, you might be wondering, oh, he's building a campaign, you say. This Lifewill. Indeed. This is actually a current campaign that I'm running with some buddies on kind of every other Friday night. And over time, I have tweaked some things, made edits, and so I'm kind of working on essentially the 2.0 version tonight. And you might be wondering, well, why is he working on it tonight? Well, we got big news here at the Inquisition. If you watched our lovely and wonderful Man's Country this past Monday, you saw a new face, and that would be the face of Robert Cornwallis. He is our newest member to the Inquisition. We're thinking about once a month, he's going to come on, and we're going to do a little, kind of, I'm going to call it a side campaign, but, doesn't mean it's less important. And we will be playing in Lifewill. Sorry, had to make sure that the chair wouldn't go back because that bugs me. But yes, it's very exciting. We're really stoked to have Robert on board. I have even messaged Courtney's husband, Nick, because he's a bit iffy. He has said that he would like to, help us out, and he shows an interest in playing D&D, and I know he can do it. He just I don't think he's just had the right experience yet. Nick is also, sorry, buddy, I love you, but you're a bit of a flake. There's no problem. I mean, there is a problem with it, but it's no fault. We love you. You're just not big on commitment. But since it's only once a month, I messaged him and said, hey, do you want to join this game? Because it's going to be awesome. Whenever I first designed Lifewill, I always mention this each Thursday. I'm listening to my Lifewill playlist right now. It's very Final Fantasy heavy, which I like. And but when I first started Lifewill, the goal for it was to basically be a never-ending campaign. And the original storyline for it is that there is none. That's right. And I'm sticking to that. There is kind of a big overarching story. There's a big bad evil guy, stuff like that. But the main thing is it's more of like a little exploration sandbox. Yeah, sandbox. That's the word I'm looking for. So, like, whenever they start out, it's not like I'm going to be like, oh, yeah, and there's this big evil guy out to the east. So, you got to go stop him. Or, oh, there's a dragon, attacking the towns, and you need to work your way up to take that thing down. No. Pretty much I have made the world, and I'm going to drop them in it. In a way, very similar to Wicked West. Although that one has a more structured kind of plot storyline thing. All right. And let's see. One thing I wanted to work on tonight. Here we go. I am using the website Trello, not a sponsor. It is a wonderful little note keeper website. You can have like individual boards, and then in those you got your separate little tags and notepads. It's a lot more organized than whenever I was using Google Docs. That one started out good until it became like 500 pages long, and then whenever I needed to find something, it was like, oh gosh, what page was that one on? Oh goodness me. That's kind of how I talk too whenever I'm doing it. But one thing I wanted to work on tonight was landmarks, sites. One thing about watching and playing fantasy games, movies, whatnot, is whenever the characters travel, they generally will come across these really interesting, landmarks. For instance, when playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey, there's this part where I was kind of just wandering around, and I stumbled upon, it was like 4 large kind of, I'm trying to remember what they looked like, but basically these large stone statues of just these, it was like 4 dudes, and it was out in the middle of nowhere, and I was like, what is this? And it was interesting. And so, of course, with it being Assassin's Creed, I was like, how historical is this thing I found? And it was fake. So there wasn't any like lore on it, but still, it piqued my interest. And I want to add more of that into my world, and trying to make something up like that on the spot. It's doable, but it's also really daunting. So it would be nice just to have a few, like in the wing. Let's see. Let's make another card here, and we'll call it Landmarks. I kind of do already have a few. Let me copy and paste them over. While I'm doing this, I'll tell you a little bit more about Lifewill. Not only was it designed to be never-ending, which, I mean, that really is going to only go as far as I can handle, because eventually my creative juices will run out. But with player input, and boy, with player input, you can. Let's see. Yes. It's not really a landmark that I'm going for, but I'll copy those over anyways. Multitasking. But yes, with Lifewill, one of the crazy, insane things about it is because I am a monster, as Courtney likes to say, and it's pretty true. I get referred to as an eldritch being for a reason. And one thing with Lifewill is, and really other campaigns I've been in as well, it's good to be open with what the players can be. You know, maybe the world, you have these lore restrictions, but players should generally always be exempt of that. Like, in my notes for Lifewill, I have that, you know, there's no auto gnomes or those tall blue guys, the Vidalcan? Yeah. Because there's the Vidalcan, and then there's the Verdin, who are basically just goblins. But I take that openness to an extreme. In Lifewill, if you wanted your character to be a mind flayer, you can. If you were like, yeah, I had this really neat idea about being a beholder, great, you can do it. Now, of course, I'm going to throw in some limitations on there. If you're like, yeah, I want to play as a Tarrasque, you'll be a medium-sized Tarrasque. You won't have the insane, like, healing factor that it does, and pretty much all of its other special abilities, but you will be a Tarrasque. And yeah, so far, nobody... Of course, I've only had the one campaign of it, but I've gotten, unfortunately, a wheel of people coming in and out. At one point, I had up to, what was I, like 5 or 6 players, and now it's down to 2. But yeah, even out of all them their peoples, nobody really got too wild and crazy. Who were the 2 most out there people? I mean, there was a goblin character, and that's, I mean, it's not really pushing the boundary. One guy, his character was a fallen god, so that was really cool. At least the concept was. And I mean, how he looked and everything was pretty unique, but still wasn't, I don't know, wasn't groundbreaking. Like, you know, if you were like, yeah, I'm going to be an Illithid, or I'm going to play as a dragon. Any other little... Okay, yeah, I have that monument here, but let me copy that one. And so, a good thing for DMs, whether new or old, is just be open with your world and just DMing in general. Don't try to. I don't think railroading's bad. I know it gets kind of a bad rap in the community sometimes, but it's good to do every now and then. Keep them on track. I think it was Brennan that said he thinks of it more as like a water slide. You have the rails, but it's gonna go down and you're gonna drop and go twist and turn this way. And I was like, that's a good way of thinking it. Oh yeah, got another monument there. Let's copy that one over. So yeah, the kind of landmarks I have right now, there's a couple NPC characters that will have shrines, as they were with King Adriel when he stopped the necromancer during the War of Resurrection. And the interesting thing with this playthrough of Lifewill, which one, not only is it going to be the new updated version, but we'll also be using the new updated kiss system. Because we can kiss and still be friends. And if you are wondering, it does stand for Keep It Simple, Stupid. Because really, simplicity, it's the best. And I got some I'll lay down the ground rules for everybody whenever we get going. And all right, I think I got all of them out of there. If not, it's not like they're going anywhere. So yeah, there's two of the monuments are for the deceased heroes that aided King Adriel. There's Boric Blackhorn and Daisy Tealeaf. They didn't make it. But let's think. What are some landmarks? Interesting sights they might come across as they travel around. And yeah, I even got a new map for it. Definitely looks like the person made it in Incarnate, and kudos to them. I have made a couple maps in Incarnate, and I highly recommend it to other DMs out there. You can have up to, last I logged on there, it was like 10 free maps, which basically equals an infinite number of free maps, because you can just delete some of the ones you made and then fill in that slot. And the maps I've made, they've all been really like region focused. I've tried making like a world map in there, and I can't do it. I don't have the creativity for that one. But the Wicked West map that we're using currently, that one turned out really well. So for this one, I might make some region maps. But since I already have this nice world map, I'll probably just stick with this one. The other thing is, I don't know where the players are going to start off. The first time around, I had a little scenario in which there was a artificer siblings who made the new mana rail, and so the start of the first one was all the players were there to witness this, grand opening of the mana rail. But I'm not going to have that one this time. And I kind of need to know who's being what. And then whenever I get who the players are going to be, then I will take that and mash it into the opening. But yeah, let's just say they start in Flamekeep. That is kind of the main capital of the area. King Adriel is a ASMR human. Hey! Roberto's here. Well, howdy, sir. I am at a baseball game and look forward to watching this later. Oh, nice. Very nice. Go, sports team! Alright, so on the map here, near Flamekeep, we got a couple mountains, we got some woods, and plains. Let's focus on the mountains first. The one difficult thing about doing something like this during the stream is keeping the chat window still in view while I'm working, because I got like 4 different things open all at once. Let's see, we'll do Flamekeep Mountain. What's some things they could find there as they're wandering around? Maybe some kind of waterfall? But waterfalls are pretty... I mean, they are pretty, don't get me wrong. But, I mean, that's a very normal thing you would find. Is there anything special about this waterfall? I like that idea, but let's save that for a different location. So the thought was that this waterfall has no start. The water just comes out of the air, essentially, and just falls down into the little, pool. Let's see, mountains near Flamekeep. Man, this is really hard. Because you gotta... I can't just be like, oh yeah, they find this thing. Because I gotta make it work with the lore. It's Renee anniversary, and we are celebrating how we first dated. Hey, nice! Happy anniversary! Enjoy the game. Stay hydrated, although, I mean, it's a little hot today, but it's still... I thought it felt pretty okay. And, maybe there might be a nice breeze going to help keep you cool. Get yourself a hot dog. Hot dog. I really shouldn't be thinking about food. I just ate a plethora of it at Applebee's. It was good. Wow. Yeah, I can't think of anything, okay? You know what? Let's not. Maybe I'm coming at this the wrong way. This is one thing about world building for all you DMs and writers out there. You know, there's multiple ways to approach world building. Maybe I'm focusing too far into this. Maybe I should just think of the map and the world, make a thing, and then plop it in where I can. Yes. Okay. Now, in changing the... Oh, let's see. It's good weather here for the game. Hey, nice. Yeah, it got surprisingly rainy this morning. I was not expecting that. Neither were many of my coworkers as they rushed outside to roll up their windows. Let's think. Ooh, okay. Okay, so what if there was like a field patch that has... It just has a odd symbol carved into it. You know, oh yeah, come out, see this symbol. Nobody knows what it is. All the theologians and scholars have pondered over this symbol for centuries, and not one has been able to figure out who carved it or what it even represents. Yeah, and also, these things don't have to be super serious. Yes, I love it. There's the world's biggest ball of hay. Yep, one day I just started packing the hay into a ball and just kept adding more and more to it. Now look at the size of it. It's bigger than my house. Yes, we got the biggest ball of hay. Ooh, some kind of like totem statue. What kind of animals would it have on it, though? Ooh, a Titan totem statue. So, like, it would have kind of like the face of like a Tarrasque. What's another big D&D creature? Oh, there's like... what's its name? Like Zaratan? It basically looks like a giant earth turtle. Okay. I'm liking that one. That one could even have some player interaction. You know, maybe there's some kind of rumor like, oh yes, some spellcasters have reported that whenever they get close to one of these totems, they swear they can start, hearing something or feeling something. And so then if there's a druid in the party, ha ha ha. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, which I haven't mentioned this in a good while, but it's also kind of why I started doing this, was not only am I here to world build as entertainment and for myself, but also for you all. Think of me as a online assistant. While I'm here, you can chat in and be like, hey man, I'm working on a pantheon. I want it to be all fire based. Who do you think I can put in there? And then we can spitball ideas and you can bounce them off me. Or if you need help, you're working on your character, you can bounce ideas off of me for that. Okay, landmarks. Ooh, there was the War of Resurrection. And that's gonna leave some battle scars on the Earth, not just in the Mournlands, or what's now called the Mournlands. Maybe there's like a large fireball crater. Ooh, the peak of a mountain was blown off. That'd be a pretty crazy thing to see. You're wandering around, you see this gorgeous mountain range, and you can see the peaks on them, but then there's this one that has this, and it's, some powerful wizard shot a spell and it got deflected and it. Let's see. Anything in woods? Ooh. Yeah. I mean, it's a very common thing that shamans, tribes, superstitious people, even just as a territory marker, people put up like hanging little things, to indicate something like, oh, this could be like they see this and, oh, hey, that means do not enter. Let's see. What will we call that one? Hanging trinkets for territory or forbidden zone. Okay. Yeah, the current campaign of Lifewill has it took. I'm gonna say it took a detour, but it's not like they were on a thing. So one of the characters in it is a Warforged, and he's a sorcerer warlock. And so, I had him do the whole deal with his demon patron guy. They had a little back and forth, kind of, working with each other. And the Warforged started setting up uh, magic circles in, kind of high priority places that they would travel to. So, they could teleport back to it with, ease. And as it turned out, not only was the party enjoying that, but the demon patron was enjoying those magic circles, as they were then used for his demon brothers and sisters to invade through. That one was really fun. To see them scramble about, yeah, we contacted those people about that circle. What, did we have any others? Let me look through my notes. I think we got them all. And so, yeah, they've been in the demon invasion pretty much ever since. Yeah, that's been going on for a good while now. But I mean, it's a invasion. It should take a while. I could take Assassin's Creed's idea, and you just stumble upon some large stone men. Ooh, actually, yeah, I kind of like that. What if there was like, what are they called? The terracotta warriors. The Chinese ones where there's just like all of those statues in rows. Yeah, something like that. Let's call it Construct Graveyard. Oh, if I can spell. Construct. There you go. Yeah, I can English. I'll tell you who can English. So, our two main campaigns are part of the Treachery series that we have here. I highly recommend you watch them. They're phenomenal. We have the first one, Treachery, a Governor's Secret. And then we have the current one, the sequel, Treachery, a Lord's Gambit. And, yeah, I had a train of thought with that one. Man, there were no survivors on that one. I'm sure it'll come back to me. Okay, Construct Graveyard. Treachery. Huh. Wow, I have completely blanked on wherever I was going with that story. Unfortunate. Anywho. Oh, first let's save. I want to make sure we don't lose our progress here. Landmarks. This isn't what I was going for, but one thing in Treachery that was really interesting was Courtney had talked about there was this island off the main continent that celebrated, it was like the grand bloom, because like over there's just this super humongous flower field, and I guess once a year or something it has its big blooming, and that was a really nice touch. Made the world feel kind of more real, more lived in. Let's see. Construct graveyard. Ooh. What if they just stumble upon a giant old tree? Ooh, let's magic tree. Like when they get to it, you know, they can feel the energy kind of coming off of it. But it doesn't seem to be doing anything. It's just kind of there. Yeah, one thing with well, maybe that might be a bit too much of spoilers because don't want to ruin anything for the new players. But there's going to be some. I mean, I already have some landmarks kind of built in because you know there's always ruins in fantasy worlds, and these ones are a bit peculiar. And I would say very recognizable to the players. Landmarks. Oh. Birthplace of King Adriel. We do that a lot here in the States. We even kind of fight over it a little bit. No, Abraham Lincoln's our guy. No, he's from here. No, Abraham Lincoln's from over here. I like that one. Yeah, there's some of the old dragon shrines. Ooh. I just had the thought of something like almost something like a time capsule that they kind of stumble upon and then yeah, let's jot it down. Time capsule question mark? I mean, a lot of times in things they do, you know, you stumble upon ruins and stuff from the old world. But like a time capsule is placed there with purpose. So it adds, you know, a little bit more mystery or intrigue to it. What else can I share that's not really a spoiler? Because yeah, Lifewill is kind of my my magnum opus of campaigns, or just world building. It's the one I've put kind of the most thought into. Actually, yeah, I think I've mentioned this before. In Lifewill, there are no half breeds. Like you don't have half elves or half orcs or any other kind of odd combination of things, other than tieflings. I put it as, you know, there's no crossbreeding other than tieflings and whatever. So, if a tiefling gets with a Harangon, you'll get this little demon rabbit with horns. If they were to get frisky with a lizard folk. Yeah, and I like that little bit of lore. Actually, that brings up a good point. When world building and writing and whatnot, don't be afraid to put limitations on whatever. Whether it's magic, like maybe you're like, yeah, you can use whatever spells you want except for any kind of restoration spells. Because, maybe healing magic just doesn't exist in the world that you're making. Or, maybe tieflings are the only ones who can crossbreed. Maybe drow are only female. Add in things like that, and it helps just make it feel more. Hate to use the word diverse, but I mean, makes it feel more diverse, unique. One of the things with the races, the Dragonborns in Lifewill are just super enhanced kobolds. So the world started off with kobolds, and there are these kind of dragon overlords. I know I've talked about this before, so it's not that big of a spoiler. And these dragons were watching these young races start to pop up, and we're just like, oh, okay, we'll supervise them, make sure, they had this divine purpose kind of implanted into them to be the world's guardians, essentially. But having free will of their own, as they're watching these races kind of grow up, they're like, hey, those kobold guys, they kind of look like us. Camaraderie. Let's put them in charge. But of course, kobolds being the small little guys that they are, the dragons were like, yeah, here's a little boost. And then you get your dragonborn. And then eventually over time, they populated enough that they can just carry on their wayward son. Oh yeah, and I know I've talked about this one too. Warforges in Lifewill actually give birth. They are not made, they are not constructed. I mean, maybe they were at first, who knows? The players will have to find that out. But the Warforges, they take a lump of material, open up their little chest cavity, easy bake oven that thing, and then after, I think it's like 3 years or something, it pops out a little Warforged, and then it grows up and gets bigger, and okay, let's put a hold on the landmarks for now. Let's review. Oh, yes, factions. I wanted to re-look at this one. This is one thing I needed to work on, too, was adding in factions. Because, I mean, they add more drama, they can add more interest points. And, I mean, it's a very real-life thing that certain factions and organizations just kind of spring up as needed to do whatever the task is. So yeah, I got the Cult of the Sleeping Titan. There's the Night Thorns, which is the crime syndicate. Actually, I'm really proud of that name. And the symbol. I made the symbol for it, and it's pretty sick. Not gonna lie, it's cool. I'm a little torn on this one. So I have essentially a monster hunting faction. You know, kind of like your Witchers, just without the enhancements and all that doodads. And I'm a little torn on that one because on one hand, if you were living in a fantasy world where there's all of these crazy monsters, like, why wouldn't there be some kind of monster hunter faction? But then also, one, I sort of feel like that diminishes the adventuring party a little bit. Because, you know, when they adventure around, they, you know, slay whatever beast might be plaguing a town. It's like, yay, you did it. And, I mean, they can work hand in hand, but in some ways it feels like, oh, well, why would we need these adventurers when we have this slayer group? Of course, you can say, well, you know, the slayers are limited in number because being a monster hunter would freaking suck. It would not be enjoyable unless you're a crazy person. And so, you know, there's definitely reasons why you can validate your adventurers being there. But still, there's just something about having that faction there that I might get rid of it. There's also weird, kind of a weird viewing of kind of monster slayers. I know in Witcher, kind of the one reason that people seem to dislike Witchers is because, I mean, they're mutant freak people. And, like, on one hand, it's like, okay, I can get behind that a little bit. But they're going out and slaying these crazy monsters for you. So, why would you treat them badly? That's one thing about Witcher that always kind of didn't sit right with me. As of now, I'm gonna leave this monster hunter group in here. Because also, the symbol I made for them was also really cool. It's a crescent moon that has like a blade going kind of through it. It's cool. It's really cool. Some of you all might have experienced this guy already. There's the Venators, who are the mage hunters. So, unsurprisingly, with Courtney and I being really big fans of Dragon Age, I loved the concept of the Templars and the mages and that whole dynamic in Dragon Age. Because one, it adds it's a really good conflict to throw in there, and the drama of it, but also it's so legit. Hey, Nanarito. Oh, stop it. Keep it going. Okay, now. I do rock. It's true. Sometimes I even roll. and I roll really bad. but uh, but yeah, with the Templars and the mages in Dragon Age, not only is that just a really good dynamic, but it's so legit. If I was living in a fantasy world and my neighbor can create fire from his hands at will, um yeah, I want to feel safer, and I need to know that that guy's like on the up and up. So if he has to be taken away to go through basically like a mage training school, yeah, magic is freaking dangerous. You have people that can teleport into places. It's the X-Men argument essentially, but in a fantasy form. Heard Al on Kelly Patrick was awesome. Yeah, he was. Was it the one about the national parks? Is that the one that you watched? Because that one was really good. Yeah, Al's been on there a couple times, and I even saw in the comments of the latest one that somebody was like, "Yeah, can you bring this guy on, Al, more often?" They were both great listens. Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah, the during the that national park one, the other guy, he made me feel dumber. His arguments were so non-existent and like passive. It was like what are you even debating then? it was it was so bad. And it was like right from the start too. Like Al asked him something, and and there was something it was such a straight and narrow question. I want to say it was like, yeah, do you think national parks are important? And the guy was like, oh, well, I don't know really. Well, it's case closed then. Al wins. And he did. And he crushed that guy. To those that are new to this channel and that might be starting to click off because I'm starting to talk about national parks, we digress quite a lot on this channel. We are tangenters. And that's also kind of why I call it World Building Plus, because you get world building plus whatever, because we're just here hanging out, being a bunch of dorks. Okay, so Venators. I mean, in real life, archaeology isn't really a faction. Like, every country has their archaeologists, they mix and mingle. But I wanted to make an archaeologist guild, essentially. This guy, this court jester coming in here. We are nerds and proud. We're ugly and we're proud. But yeah, I need to come up with a name for this kind of artifact archaeologist group. I'm ugly and I'm proud. Man, we love SpongeBob. Because with this archaeologist group, I was also taking a little bit of inspiration from the Brotherhood of Steel. Because, like in Fallout, they go around and they collect technologies so that, one, they can examine them and then be like, okay, this one's safe for the public, put it back. Yeah, commoners can use this, that's okay. But these things, no. And I really, it's such a good concept because you get the kind of that duality of like, well, yeah, they're going around and making sure these dangerous artifacts don't fall into the wrong hands. But then the argument against the Brotherhood of Steel is, well, now you have this group that has all of this, essentially the super tech, and if one group has all the power, what does power corrupt? Let's see. Ooh, Nanner got some suggestions. Let me... I can't see the chat. There we go. Society of Relic Hunters. Okay, that's a good one. Ooh, Order of Lost Ages. That's dope. Cartographers of Time. Nanner. You know what? I'm doing it. Nannergoo, the reason, because you came a little bit late into this, the reason I'm prepping this Lifewill campaign is we're going to start doing a once-a-monther with our buddy Robert, the one that you saw during the man's country. And I'm going to go ahead and extend an invitation to you, Nannergoo. Once a month, come out onto the live stream. I know you live really far away, so that's probably a big no. But now, of course, we would have to do a test run with you. Nice. Yeah, I mean, if you suggest things like that, the Society of Relic Hunters, Order of Lost Ages, that's pretty awesome. I also think the rest of the Inquisition would love you. You're a really cool dude. But I'll have to discuss that with the others. I kind of threw that out on the spot, and I might get in trouble for it. But always ask for forgiveness, not for permission, as the saying goes. Let's see. Cartographers of Time. No, yeah, that Order of Lost Ages. It's in there. It's saved. It's canon now. Nannergoo is part of Lifewill. Okay, so now the only thing I need to do is work on a good symbol for them. I'll do that later. I do. It is my brotherly duty to give Courtney a heart attack. Let's see. So I have a crime syndicate. I mean, there's usually multiples, but I was kind of thinking that the Night Thorns were kind of just the big kind of global one, and then as needed, I could make little, pocket people wherever, we're the sticky bandits. we're the turd burglars. So yeah, we got our mage hunters. We got our monster hunters. Yeah, I'm gonna keep the monster hunters in there. it's just too needed. We got our archaeologist group. There's usually, I mean, I got the Cult of the Sleeping Titan, so that's one kind of religious faction. Wow, my brain. That Applebee's must have really fried my brain tonight. I'm like 30% boneless chicken wings right now. They have this, didn't know it, but when we went there, they have this special going on. All you can eat boneless chicken wings, riblets, and fries. And yeah, it was good. Very good. What other factions? Okay, religion. We could probably throw in another. There's generally multiple kind of religion factions in fantasy storylines. I mean, there is the mage kind of college, but I wouldn't call that a faction. You know? I mean, I guess it is. Because, I mean, they send people out. Yeah. The Arcanum. Whoa. What did you do? I wanted you to type, Goofus. Arcanum. Mage. College. But what would their... Because the thing with a faction is you gotta have like a... Wow. My brain really isn't working. You gotta have a motive. Like, what's their goal? What are they striving for? Wow, what happened to my page that I was just working on? What did you do, technology? Click. Visibility. I didn't accidentally put that under landmarks, did I? It said something about archived, and then now... Well, that's unfortunate. Sorry, I'm gonna try to figure this out real quick. Okay, you said you archived it, whatever the heck that meant. That would mean you had to put it somewhere, right? So where's that somewhere? Well, I'll come back to that. It's all good. See, yeah, I got my moon elves, my sun elves. What else do I need to work on? I really just need to review some of the stuff to refresh the noggin. Aha, this card was archived on July 9th. Cool. Why? Ah, restore. There we go. Haha. I'm a genius. Okay. Now, we're back on track. Sorry about that. Oh, I think I had told you all that I was playing. It's called Clash Artifacts of Chaos. It's part of like a spiritual successor of the Xeno series, if you're familiar with those games. It's a really crazy, bonkers world, and I love it. Because, like, in the first two, you play as a human, and there's, you know, bird people, giant rhino guys, other, like, weird, grotesque mole bats, and it's like a brawler, which was really fun. And yeah, I beat this this latest one. Well, I say I beat it. So after I finished the, well, it was the final boss fight. It then told me, yeah, go back and collect this one last thing, and you'll unlock the true ending. And so then I saw that and I uninstalled it because I'm not gonna do that. I beat it. And also, I looked for that one thing back when I was in that area, and I could not find it for the life of me. So right now, I'm focusing on, well, Helldivers 2 has really taken the scene because it is so much fun, and it's such a quick game. I mean, you can just hop into it and go, and yeah, it's a blast. And yeah, they just released some updates for it, so there's like some new missions thrown in there. Gotta figure out what those are about. But I've also been playing Final Fantasy IX, and it's amazing. Vivi is awesome. Love the guy. I've loved him since before I knew I loved him. But I'll tell you one thing. Final Fantasy IX is freaking hard. Like, I was going along, things were going good. I got to this one spot, hit the boss battle, got nuked. So I was like, okay, well, whenever I load back, I'll go around, do some grinding, get some XP. Well, for some reason, whenever I loaded back, even though it was like a breeze getting up to the point, suddenly all the enemies I just went through leveled up like 1,000 times, and so then they became super hard. And it was like, what's going on? Luckily, they built in like cheats into the game. And I've been using them. Or else I probably would have uninstalled it and never got to experience the rest of the game. Anywho, factions. All right, Nannergoo, you gave me some really good names for the archaeologists. Is there any other kind of faction that I'm kind of missing? Be a good one. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Mage College off. I mean, they are an organization, but they're not a faction. Does that make sense? Maybe I'm overthinking that, but that just doesn't feel right. Sleeping monster hunters. Oh, I do know that the Tritons have, in Lifewill, the Tritons have they have a vampire hunting group. Would I just throw them in with the monster hunters? As like, oh, we're like a subgroup of that faction. Because I'm just saying, Tritons would make the best vampire hunters because they can be both on land and in the sea. Because vampires don't need to breathe. So why would they all be hanging out on land? They could chill out under the sea and not have to worry about anything. The sun doesn't get down there. Well, doesn't get down there super deep. I'm sure even in the more lighted areas, the water would nullify the sunlight effects. And yeah, they don't have to breathe, so they can just paddle around down there like the little vampy boys that they are. Now, let's go for more global groups. So we got our artifacts, crime, crazy cult people, monster hunters, mage hunters. Ooh. Okay, yeah. Like something like the First Cross. There'd be a faction that would probably go around to restore, nature sites that got damaged by the war. Would go just travel around healing people. First aid and restoration. What would they be called? The uplifters. The reclaimers. I kind of like that one. Reclaimers. Sorry. Yeah, you know, they're like the habitat for humanity after, you know, whether by a war, monster attack, tornado, the reclaimers come in, help the people kind of build back up, give them supplies until they can, you know, get them back onto their feet and all that. Okay, okay. And yeah, with something like that, you could probably tie in one of the religions to that. Oh, hey, Courtney, since you're here, there's going to be this monthly one-shot, well, not one-shot, this monthly campaign with Robert, if you want to be in it. Robert's so cool. Yeah, oh, it turns out I misunderstood Robert's message. His Humana interview is this coming Monday. So all you out there in the internet verse, send Robert your energy like you do to Goku on the daily, and give him good juju, some good vibes, and yeah, maybe he'll end up with a new job that will be the perfect fit for him. What time is it? Oh man, it's almost 9 already? Dang. Time flies when you're getting goofy. Joe, using vibes is not on my 2026 bingo card. Well, what's wrong with you? Get a new bingo card, man. Don't you know you gotta be like one of those old ladies and you gotta have like 10 bingo cards in front of you and. Whoa. That was uncalled for. My little screen here just decided to slide back. Stay. No, bingo is actually like, it's a oddly fun game. Well, I'm gonna put, since it's almost 9, I might extend out a little bit longer, maybe go till 9:30, because when Courtney asked me what I was gonna be doing tonight, you know, I told her I'd be doing Lifewill stuff, but also I haven't made a new character in a good while, and I'm jonesing for another hit. So, yeah, let's make some characters. Where's my... Here we go, my second character page. That's right, I have a second Google Doc for characters. Because I'm a madman. Let's see, I got, looks like I got a couple artificers, barbarians. No clerics yet on this new page. Cleric, monk, paladin, sorcerer, warlock, wizard. Okay, we got options. Yeah, I always like to do a little character building every now and then. One, just for me, because making characters is really fun. Two, because we've gotten a lot of new people lately, a lot of new followers, which is awesome. And yeah, it's a good way to just throw out a little refresher of character making. And the number one rule is there is no right way to make a character. Courtney and I have very opposite spectrums of character making. She will generally imagine what the character looks like first. And then from that, we'll be like, okay, well, they're this, and they have this accent, and they're from here, and all that good stuff. Where I will start, I'll start with the class, and then kind of go through like a step process, because I'll usually do the class and then the race. I won't decide what they look like, but the race will give me that with the class will give me a good enough aesthetic that then later on, when it comes time for what I want the character to look like, I can pull from the prior info. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. Let's see. So I need class. Oh, yeah. Backgrounds. And I feel like there's something else. Race, class. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so... Let's make a... Let's make a warlock. I do like me a good warlock. I mean, they just have so much backstory kind of built into them. I mean, you have a freaking patron. You can do so much with that. You can start a demonic invasion with that. Ooh, hey, they've added in some new subclasses on here. Parasite, Predator, Mother of Sorrows. What in tarnation? Yeah, show me all of those. What? Okay, the Mini from the Grifton's Saddlebag, Book 2. Okay, not familiar with that book. Not that I'm really familiar with any of the books. Okay, your patron is a powerful entity composed of a multitude of heads. Okay. Like a Hydra, Medusa. Your patron may consider you one of its estranged or forgotten heads. That's okay. That's a interesting way, interesting patron dynamic there. Okay, Pussy may find beauty in patterns or matching sets. What an odd patron. Yeah, patrons can include multi-headed things like a Medusa, Cerberus, a Hydra. Okay. And what does this multi-headed class do? They get some different warlock spells. Okay, at first level, you gain a number of eldritch heads equal to your proficiency bonus. Okay. Only you and creatures with true sight can see these heads. They sprout from your shoulders. Yeah. Okay, what do they do? Once per turn, you can expend one head when you are hit. Oh, when you hit a creature to take extra psychic damage. This is Eldritch patrons are supposed to be a little weird. Eldritch is in the name, but this one's really, really odd to me. When you have at least one head, you can't be surprised. Okay. Regain a number of hit points. Yeah, this one's just weird. What's the big daddy? What's the max thing you can get? So you can use an action to revive your expended eldritch heads in a frenzied burst, at which time they become visible to everyone. They make a roar. Make an intelligence save. Psychic damage. Huh. Well, not gonna do that one. Where's the, There we go. Yeah, for those watching, since I'm making a warlock, which warlock subclass is your favorite? Comment in, chat in. I would say besides these new ones, kind of mechanically, like what it does, I think my favorite one is the genie. Hexblade, I don't get excited over Hexblade like a lot of people do. But I would say as far as flavor and all that, I think the Great Old One is kind of my favorite in that regards. Because it's Eldritch. It's supposed to be something really bizarre and, Cthulhu. Okay, Mother of Sorrows. Bind themselves. And her poisonous vengeance. Okay, I think we're going to have a little poison-themed warlock here. Yep, those are all very poisony-like spells there. Any poison damage you deal ignores any resistance or immunity. Ooh, wow. As a bonus action, choose one creature you can see. They are cursed. You deal an extra 1d6 to them. Okay. I'm vibing this one. Kind of a putrid, poisony themed warlock. That one, I can get behind that. Because, I mean, what? One of the demonesses is Zugtamoy. You know, she's the lordess of fungus. My arch nemesis. Mushrooms. God's mistake. Let's see, at 6th level, you can basically do essentially a hellish rebuke, but it's poison. You become immune to poisons. Oh, dang. Oh, gosh. So, at 14th level, you get Touch of Sorrow. When you hit a creature with an attack, you can use this feature. They make a wisdom save. If they fail, they become paralyzed and poisoned for 24 hours. The creature remains paralyzed until it takes damage or is no longer poisoned. Okay, that helps. That helps with that a little bit. 24 hours? Whew. This is why I made the KISS system, so I could get away from 5E or 6E or whatever they're at now. Okay, the parasite. What's this one? It calls your body home. Well, that's in the name. Ooh. Your patron can manifest on and protrude from your body in the form of a parasitic weapon, claws, teeth, tendrils, or other appendages. That's awesome. Now that's a warlock. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Let's see, you can use it when you take the attack action on your turn with a reach equal to 5 times your proficiency bonus. Dang. So you get some reach with this. Is this basically like another kind of melee warlock vibe that they're going for? Kind of like Hexblade, but in a more eldritchy sense? Let's see, you use your charisma modifier when you attack. It does just a straight 1d12, no modifiers. 1d12, that's pretty good. You can get extra attack with it. It can count as magical. You can use your charisma mod instead of your strength mod when making strength saving throws. You can cause your patron to manifest as a shield in your free hand. Dude, this warlock is sick. I sort of, so my older brother Al, years ago, he's the one that got me into D&D, as I mentioned during Man's Country, and we did a follow-up campaign to Valor, which was our very first one, a fantasy one. So then, we had Valor 2, and in that one, I made a character that was very similar to this. They got experimented on when they got captured by this hag, essentially, and she could transform her body into monster parts, and that was how she attacked. So, you know, she would change her arm into like this grotesque kind of crab claw, and yeah, that concept I think is really cool. And yeah, that's totally the vibe here with this one. I'm gonna read the last one, but I'm thinking I'm gonna go with this one. Okay, so yeah, you can make a shield. Oh, you can transfer your body into a liquid. Oh, I guess because the parasite. Yeah, okay, that one's a little odd, even for this, but I'll go with it. Oh, you can birth your parasite, like a part of it, so you have a little. It's basically find familiar, but a parasitic form. Okay. To ooze. Okay, okay. La la la. Blah blah blah. You can send this ooze from your body to explode on something. Interesting. And then lastly, it unleashes its true power and envelops your form. You grow in size by one category. Okay. You gain a number of hit points. Damage dice of the parasitic weapon goes up to 2d8. That's interesting. So it goes from 1d12 to 2d8. I mean, yeah, you'd get more. Wonder why they didn't just do 2d12. Huh. Let's see, attack score. Oh, it crits on 19s and 20s. And when you take damage, you can react and attack. That's pretty cool. That's a really cool. Good job. What book is that one from? Heliana's Guide to Monster Hunting. And then lastly, we have The Predator from Humblewood Tales. Humblewood. Your patron is a primal beast. Let's see, apex predators, white dragons, bestial demons. Okay, they just have to have a more of a beastie form. Gotcha. Let's see, starting at first level, your patron grants you enhanced tracking. Form of the beast. You gain. Okay, gain temporary hit points. Senses become supernatural. Sprout pointed teeth, claws. Okay, so in a way, when you do this, it's almost like the shifter's shift, where you become more kind of feral and beastie. All right. I'm digging this one. This one's good. Yeah. You bite, you scratch. What's the Mac Daddy? What's the big cheese do? Okay, so at 14th, push to your limits. When an attacker that you can see hits you with an attack, okay, you react, transform your Immediately transform into your form of the beast. Oh, and then make one bite or claw attack. Additionally, while transformed, when you take damage from a creature, you can use to make another bite or attack. Oh. That seems kind of weird. Like, is it saying you temporarily change into it when you get hit? So it's like, ouch, rawr, ouch, rawr. Or do you ouch and then you roar, you know. Maybe I'm thinking it's more that one. An interesting and sort of unnecessary upgrade. Well, Parasite, you are definitely the winner. Because that one is freaking cool. Well, that definitely has changed up and is going to make this warlock extra interesting for sure. Okay, so I have some kind of parasite inside of me. I do crazy body morphing to attack. Who would look cool doing this? A centaur is already kind of a beastie person, so that would be kind of interesting. Okay, I'm thinking something that's not animalistic already. Even though, like, a lizard folk, and then his scales peel off and his arm changes into, like, this bony spear arm. That would be really cool. And I'm a little partial to lizard folks. Ooh, I do like turtles. And that's something to consider too with this warlock. Are they happy that they have this parasitic thing inside of them and can do this crazy stuff with their body, or are they mortified by it? Because I would picture a turtle being like, oh my gosh! Halfling. Somebody being small would be interesting. Orc. Ooh, actually an orc. Huh. I am digging that visual of an orc kind of morphing his body into a freak weapon. Yeah, let's go orc. Okay, so we have. Oh, yeah, we're gonna do male or female. Let's do. We'll do a male orc. And this is the warlock parasite. Dude, that's so cool. That's so sick. I kind of like it being the orc. One, because of the visual. Because one, if you're a parasite kind of thing, choosing an orc would be smart. Because, I mean, they're hardy people. They'd be able to defend the parasite, better. But also, because orcs are kind of typically dumb, I kind of like the idea of this more just not as smart person having to deal with it. Like a bugbear would sort of work too. But yeah, I don't know. Something about them having fur already, I'm not digging it when they transform. But yeah, the orc. Okay. And what were you, Mr. Orc Man? What did you do in your time before becoming the body host and body horror to this parasitic thing? I do typically like it when they're kind of just average people. Like, I was a fisherman. I was pulling up this catch, and then it caught me. And yeah, do we want this to be a accidental warlocking, an on purpose warlocking? Let's go with on purpose. So what reason would you have done to be like, yeah, if you do X, I'll host your baby inside of me? That's that's a normal thing to do. Yeah, it's Thursday. Yeah, come on. We could go. There's the haunted one background. The haunted one is one of my favorite backgrounds. It's just so rich with lore possibilities for your character. There was another one. I think it's called Ruined. Yeah. Feature. You have weathered ruinous misfortune. You gain a feat. I'm gonna ignore that. I don't care about that. What's the flavor here? Okay, so it's kind of you met with a misfortune and you're kind of bouncing back from it. Soldier would be a good one. Because, maybe he was out on the battlefield. Either he was dying or maybe a friend was dying. Yeah, maybe he was just a city guardsman that encountered something wild and crazy. Oh, yes. Yeah. Oh, that's good. Okay. Yeah, so he was part of the city watch. Just a guard. Just trying to, help his community, protect the innocent, and during an investigation, I think there is an investigator background, but yeah, he wouldn't really be the investigator. It would be like, hey, I've been tracking this thing. Chief wants me to follow this trail. I need some muscle. Come with me, big guy. Yeah. And yeah, he goes there. They stumble upon a, maybe it is like a crazy cult ritual thing that's going on. Um, the parasite is embedded into some kind of innocent person. Maybe, maybe it goes into his police officer buddy. Maybe it's just a random innocent person that they captured. But the orc guy is like, okay, no, hey, listen, look at this body that you're in. It's weak, it's frail. Look at me. I'm big, I'm beefy. Take me instead. And then that's how he gets warlocked. Yeah, that's I'm digging that one. Encounters cult ritual. Asks parasite to infect him instead of innocent. Yeah, I like this too. One, I mean, that's a good like, oh yeah, you can get behind this guy. Uh, but then two, with him being a non-magic user beforehand, now he has these powers that are really strange and and body horror esque. But yeah, he's gonna have to learn how to control these powers and this magic, and that's always a nice little character trope to do. Like I have a one of my sorcerers on my first page. He's a bugbear, and his charisma stat is like his worst stat because he doesn't know how to do magic. He's an idiot. Like he calls himself Crate there because he worked at the Witchlight Festival and he didn't have a name, so they would just be like, hey, Crate there. And so he thought that was his name. And so you have this bugbear casting fireballs and then his like fur's on fire and he's like, oh. I haven't gotten to play him, but I'm pretty excited to if I ever do, because I love that idea. All right, yeah. And look at that. It's 9:30. Didn't make as many characters as I was kind of hoping for, but I mean, world building takes time. So if you are world building or story writing or what have you, do not fret. Do not uh, worry. It's going to take time. Just give yourself patience and just keep powering through. Every little bit is still progress. Well, I hope you all enjoyed that stream. I had a good time. I made some good progress in Lifewill. Got some little landmarks for them to stumble upon, some odd scenes and whatnot. And then, yeah, making that warlock, that was nice. Yeah, making characters, it's so much fun. Because, yeah, once when you get into it, you catch the bug, and then you just start making characters. It's why I have, I'm over 100 characters at this point. Some of them I don't really care about because I went through and I was doing every subclass. And yeah, some classes and subclasses, I'm not big on the whole illusion thing. Um, it's not my style. I like blowing stuff up. I like shooting lightning bolts from my hands. But yeah, I'm gonna have to look through because yeah, there was a couple new subclasses for warlocks. I'm curious as to who else got some new subclasses in there. I'll need to think of a name for that orc, but yeah, he's got a good backstory. But I digress again, as we do. Thank you for tuning in. Have a wonderful night. Have a wonderful weekend. Things that are coming up. We will not be at the Renaissance Fair this Saturday. We will be doing a live stream of Treachery, a Lord's Gambit. That will be at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on the YouTubes. But then Sunday, we will be back at the Renaissance Fair in Eminence, Kentucky, doing one-shots at the As You Wish Customs booth. Sessions are at noon, 2, and 4. Then next weekend, the 18th and the 19th, we will be both there for the 2 final days of that Ren Fair. It's $20 to come play. You get a nice D&D prep box. It comes with a mini, dice, like a trinket, a pre-made character. So yeah, all in one nice little box. And with that, you get a nice hour and a half one-shot. Besides that, we have the monthly one-shot coming up with Robert. That's going to be Lifewill. I will be, DMing that one, obviously, since I was working on it tonight. I hope you all enjoy Lifewill. My Friday night guys have enjoyed it thus far, and with these new improvements, I just think it's going to be even better. And I'm curious to see what characters everybody cooks up with, because I've told them that they can be anything. You know, if they want to be a beholder, they can be a beholder. What else is on the horizon? Oh yeah, we still got more episodes of The Wicked West coming. Those live stream on basically every other Monday night. So be on the lookout for those. I think there's still more episodes of Ark to come out. I've actually been rewatching that one myself, and man, that was a good one. Arc is our Halo-inspired TTRPG. So if you're a fan of Halo, you will definitely enjoy Arc. And yeah, that's all I got for now, I think. So I'll see you next time. And as always, remember that freedom always crits. And go to church. Bye!